Hello and welcome to BYJU'S IAS. Let's get started with our daily quiz and look at question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding Competition Commission of India. But first up, what is the context? This is today's PIB news. The Competition Commission of India has approved the acquisition by Zomato 9.3% stake in Grofers and Hands on Trades Private Limited. Statement number 1, it is an extra constitutional body established via a government notification or a central government notification. Yes, it is an extra constitutional body, but it has not been established via a central government notification because Competition Commission of India is a statutory body. It has been created based on Competition Commission of India Act of 2002. This act was amended in 2007. So Competition Commission of India is a statutory body. It has not been established via a central government notification. It has been established because of an act passed in the year 2002. CCI consists of chairperson and 6 members appointed by the central government. That means statement 2 is incorrect as well. And it is the duty of the commission to protect the interests of the consumers. So statement 3 is correct. D is the right answer. The goal of CCI is to create and sustain fair competition in the economy that will provide a level playing field to the producers. So if there is more competition in the society, which means the consumers will have a better choice, which means the consumers will have a better service. So to have more competition in the society, it is always a win-win situation for consumers, which means apart from ensuring that there is competition in the economy, it is the duty of the CCI to also protect the interests of the consumers. So statement 3 is correct. D is the right answer. Now let's look at question number 2. Brasilia Declaration led to the establishment of IBSA, BRICS, SAARC, SCO or Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and the answer is A, IBSA. IBSA is a unique forum. Why? This is today's PIB news. India organizes IBSA Tourism Ministers Virtual Meet. This IBSA brings 3 countries together: India, Brazil and South Africa. And these are all developing countries. These are all multicultural, multi-religious, multilingual. Basically, these are all diverse countries. The year was 2003 when the foreign ministers, the external affairs ministers of these 3 countries, they met at Brasilia. This declaration was issued, which led to the establishment of IBSA in the year 2003. So A is the right answer. Now let's look at question number 3. Which of the following is or are part of India's investments in Afghanistan? What is the context? Taliban is gaining in Afghanistan and thereby it is also complicating India's options. For India, if Taliban captures Kabul as well, which means Taliban will capture the entire Afghanistan, and a Taliban government in Afghanistan, it is going to complicate India's strategic options. What's the question? Which of the following is or are part of India's investments in Afghanistan? Salma Dam, it is also known as Afghanistan-India Friendship Dam. It is basically a 42 megawatt hydroelectric and irrigation dam. So option 1 is correct. Zaranj-Dilaram Highway, it basically connects Afghanistan to the border of Iran and ultimately connects to the Chabahar port. Because Afghanistan is a landlocked country, if India wants access to Afghanistan, one way is through Pakistan, but Pakistan is blocking India's access to Afghanistan. Then what is the alternative? The alternative is India can reach the Chabahar port, and then Chabahar port through this Zaranj-Dilaram highway will connect India indirectly to Afghanistan. So option 2 is correct. Third, Afghan parliament in Kabul. It has also been constructed by India. In fact, it was inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi. In fact, there is one block in this parliament which is named after former Prime Minister Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. This Zaranj-Dilaram highway has been constructed by Border Roads Organization. And fourth, restoration of the Store Palace project. All these options are correct. D is the right answer. and India is restoring this palace project along with Aga Khan Development Network. Now let's look at a previous year's question paper 2020 with reference to India's biodiversity. Ceylon frogmouth, coppersmith barbet, grey-chinned minivet and white-throated redstart. These are all birds. So A is the right answer. Let's look at question number 5. Which of the following is or are the objectives of a voluntary vehicle fleet modernization program? Number 1, creation of a viable circular economy. Number 2, minimizing the use of resources, generation of waste, pollution and carbon emissions. Select the correct option from below and the answer is C, both 1 as well as 2. And we will understand this question by looking at a PIB news. The launch of this vehicle scrappage policy is a significant milestone in India's development journey, says Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi. And this is our fact of the day as well. Vehicle scrappage policy. Now, all automobiles, whether these are commercial or personal, all automobiles over a certain age, they should be scrapped, they should be off the roads. Why? Because it will lead to better pollution control. It will lead to better safety as well. Why? Because new cars means they will follow the new emission norms, which means better pollution control. And new cars which are being manufactured these days, they have obviously better safety mechanisms, which means all automobiles, whether commercial or personal, over a certain age, they should be off the roads. Why? Because of better pollution control and better safety. These commercial vehicles, if they are above 15 years old, and personal vehicles, if they are about 20 years old. Now, these vehicles of this age, they will be marked for scrapping. How? If they fail a fitness test, which means commercial vehicles above the age of 15, personal vehicles above the age of 20, they will be subjected to the fitness test. If they fail the fitness test, they will be sent for scrappage. If they pass this fitness test, which means these vehicles can continue to be run, but higher registration fee will be imposed so that we can discourage their owners to continue using these very old vehicles. Why? In the interest of better pollution control and for better safety of the citizens. Which means these vehicles, if they pass fitness test, they will be allowed to run on the roads, but higher re-registration fee will be imposed on them, which basically means we are discouraging their owners from continuing to use these vehicles. What will happen because of this vehicle scrappage policy? It will lead to circular economy, a viable circular economy. And this viable circular economy will create a closed loop system. How? A circular economy is based on reuse, it's based on sharing, it is based on repair, it's based on recycle. Let's say, for example, a car is scrapped. What will happen to its metals? What will happen to iron and steel, for example? What will happen to the plastic? What will happen to the seats? They can be put to reuse, they can be shared, they can be repaired, they can be recycled. And it will lead to a closed loop system. And ultimately a circular economy will be created. And this will lead to more employment opportunities. To understand this better, for example, in the year 2014, INS Vikrant, which was an aircraft carrier, which played a very important role in the 1971 India-Pakistan war, which led to the emergence of Bangladesh as an independent entity. But this was decommissioned. It was decommissioned in the year 1997. Then it was converted into a museum ship in Mumbai. But then in the year 2014, it was sold off in an auction for 60 crore rupees because the costs of sustaining this INS Vikrant, these costs were huge. And ultimately, the government decided to auction INS Vikrant. And then it was scrapped. When it was scrapped, Bajaj V, a two-wheeler, was manufactured using the scrappage of INS Vikrant. Bajaj manufactured this two-wheeler, which means when these automobiles, they are scrapped, which means their products, their material, their equipments, they are kept in use for a longer time. When is the fitness test of these automobiles going to start? Very important point for your prelims examination. For commercial vehicles, this fitness test will begin April 2023. For these personal vehicles, the test will start June 2024. But then there are these vehicles which are owned by the government, which are owned by the public sector undertakings, PSUs. For them, the fitness test would start April 2022. And another important detail regarding this scrappage policy is that these vintage cars, they have been excluded from this scrappage policy. So these automobiles which fail these fitness tests, these automobiles would be provided a scrappage certificate. Based on this scrappage certificate, you may be provided discounts on new vehicles. Based on this certificate, there can be a waiver of registration fee as well, so that you don't have to pay anything to register the new car. There can be rebate on road tax as well, so that when you buy a new car, there is a rebate on the road tax that you have to pay to the government. And this scrappage certificate is also tradable. That means if it has been issued to you, that doesn't mean you necessarily will have to use it. You can also trade this certificate. That is it from our daily quiz segment. Thank you for being with us. Have a great evening.